Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second and last part of your class for the day. Today I had to go in early and take my Norwegian exams, which, fingers crossed, I will have gotten a good grade on. So we did this from home. I'm home. And here we are for the second part. We're talking about writing with a purpose. I want people to be, please, very quickly typing in your answers. I'm going to read with you the first bit on the top of the page. Purpose. We talked about purpose before. Why are you writing the text? Before deciding what kind of text you are going to write, you must consider the purpose of the text. Is it to persuade, to make someone do something or believe something? Or is your purpose to inform or perhaps to entertain your reader? Let's take the words that you need to know and focus on. To persuade. What does that word mean? To persuade. I'm going to give everybody a copy of these notes that I'm creating here. It's very important that you have this so that you can use it to study. What does the verb to persuade mean? Have you ever seen that word before? To persuade. What does it mean? I want to see your answers in chat. To persuade. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to contextualize it. I'm going to put it into context. Jeg skal skrive ordet i sammenheng. I'm going to put it into context for you. My brother didn't want to go to the movies, but I persuaded him, and we ended up going and watching Sonic 2. So here I use the verb in context. If you didn't get it before, can you tell me now what you think it means? To persuade. There are lots of other words that you can use. To persuade, to convince, to talk someone into something. That's to persuade. Å overbevise in Norwegian. So let's continue. Letter A, text typically written to persuade an audience. Advertisement aims to persuade readers to buy products or support ideas or causes, often through a combination of language and visual images. What's an advertisement? What's an ad? A commercial, a brochure. Sometimes, what's a brochure? I think you have a very similar word in our region for that. Let's see an example right now of an ad to persuade people. Let's actually take a look at how ads can persuade you.
Du, jeg setter deg over til avdeling for bolleklippet, og så kan du ta oss og bestille time der. Ja da, vi har ledig time klokka 4. Business, vet du.
Togmålbedrift. Smarte mobilløsninger for bedrifter til togmålpriser.
How ads and people persuade you.
Every day, you are bombarded with ads, salespeople, or friends trying to persuade you to do something, like watch a new show on Netflix or try out a new diet. Those messages don't always convince you, but sometimes they do, and you might not even realize it's happening. Dozens of factors can cause you to agree or disagree with the message, and a lot of them have to do with how you respond to persuasion in the first place. But if you can recognize when you're being persuaded, it's a lot easier to stop and make sure your opinions are actually your own. A lot of researchers who study persuasion think about it in terms of what's called the elaboration likelihood model, or ELM, which divides your response to persuasion into two main categories. There's the central route where you thoughtfully consider a message, or the peripheral route where you make a decision using quick judgments or gut feelings. Most of the time, you end up using the peripheral route, like when you're watching a commercial and decide the actor playing a doctor knows what she's talking about because she's wearing a white coat. Obviously, it's good to...
I don't want to play the whole thing because I don't want to get copyrighted, but you get the message, right? So when you watch an ad, they want to make you buy that product. They want to convince you. In the same way that an ad on TV will persuade you to buy something, you can write something to persuade somebody to do something. So that is the whole point of writing to persuade. That's one reason why we write. That's one purpose of writing. Text typically written to persuade an audience. So the first example on the page is the advertisement. An opinion piece, when you write your opinion, not always, sometimes you're just perhaps writing a text to share your opinion with people, but you can also use your opinion to persuade somebody, and you give them facts and you give them different reasons why they should do what you do or believe what you believe. An opinion piece tries to argue a case and convince or persuade readers about a topic, often in a personal and subjective style. So here you have the word subjective. Please type in chat if you know what that means. Subjective. For instance, I can tell you, people will say things like beauty is subjective. What does that mean when somebody says beauty is subjective? It means that somebody can look at somebody else and say, what a beautiful person. Nice hair, nice eyes. And then somebody else will look at that same person and say, I don't think that person's beautiful at all. I don't like her eyes, I don't like her hair. So it's subjective. Subjective means it is not one thing for everybody. it is something that varies from person to person. So for you to convince somebody of your opinion may not be possible at all times, but you make an attempt. You try to convince people. That's what a persuasive text is. A text written to persuade somebody, to convince somebody. An opinion piece, an advertisement, a piece of advertisement, commercials. And there is another example here, a blog or a vlog post. Please type in chat the difference between a blog and a vlog, if you know. What's the difference between a blog and a vlog? I have written many different blogs in my lifetime. And I'll show you what a blog is. If you don't know the difference, some of you do know the difference. Nowadays, people don't blog anymore or even vlog. People TikTok. It's all about the dances and the thing. Mama's not a big fan of TikTok. I think the videos are too short. I feel they don't go deeply into the subjects they should go into. And I feel like YouTube is a better medium for communication and for you to find information and watch different videos and learn. But then again, that's my opinion. See, I'm trying to persuade you. I'm trying to persuade you right now. Okay, so let's talk about a blog. Here is one of the blogs, not one of the many blogs that I have. This one is a public blog. And the title of my blog is Pollyanna, English Teacher, but I have a sentence on the top. Any idiot can learn a language. Only a precious few can teach it. Some people might get offended by it, but I am 100% convinced that anybody in the world can learn a language. Of course, I used the word idiot just to shock people, and you're going to be like, I want to read this. What is this all about? Any idiot can learn a language? What is that? So when you try to persuade people of your opinion, you can use some strategies and write things that will make people want to read what you wrote. So my blog is mostly about English teaching, language teaching in general. And the format of a blog, so let me go here. The format of a blog is usually in writing. Many years ago, when blogs became popular, I don't know if there are many people blogging anymore. Like I said, everyone's TikToking these days. So blogs, they were basically written texts. They could be in the form of a journal. A journal is when you write a diary and you write different things every day about how your day is, what you're doing, how you're doing things. You make a log of your life or your experiences, and you can use that to persuade people. So I wrote this post in August, let me see, August 2015, total physical response in Pollyanna's classes. Total physical response, I'm not going to go too much into it because I know it might be boring for you, but I'm just going to tell you the gist. Remember that word? I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to give you the gist. G-I-S-T. So the gist is total physical response is an activity in which people can learn languages through actions and using their body and responding with their body to words that they hear, sentences that they hear, and it's quite fun. And we've done a little bit of that in our classes, but not too much because I usually use these techniques in classes for beginners, mostly in my Spanish classes. But here we go. So here's an example of a blog, my blog. One of them is called Pollyanna English Teacher at Blogspot. And I wrote a catchy, well, perhaps people will disagree. I wrote a catchy phrase there because I wanted people to read what I was writing. So I wrote, any idiot can learn a language, comma, only a precious few can teach it. So blogs, when you think blog, think of writing things on the internet. It's like a book online with your experiences. It's different from a book because it's ever changing. You can type entries each day. A vlog, on the other hand, is a video format where you get on camera and you register everything that you want to perhaps teach somebody about, or you want to register your life, how your life is. There are family vloggers on YouTube. They show how their family lives and what kind of activities they have. A very famous family vlog was Micah Stauffer or Stauffer. See, here's an ad trying to persuade me to buy something. Another ad. Ads are made to persuade people, to convince people. Okay. So I'm going to give you some background into this. This was a family vlog. They had videos on their channel constantly showing their experiences as a family. They had several children and they adopted a child, and they showed the whole history of how they went to, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I believe they went to China to adopt a little boy. They brought the little boy home. To make a long story short, to give you the gist, it didn't work out. The little boy did not adapt to life with them. They didn't like all the responsibilities that came with it, and they gave the little boy to a different family. And they came under severe scrutiny and criticism because of that. So that was a vlog. They were registering their experiences online, and it backfired on them tremendously. There are lots of vloggers. After this happened, after they got rid of the child that they adopted, they were no longer very popular. So there you go, the difference between a vlog and a blog. A vlog is more focused on videos, registering your experiences. A blog is more focused on written accounts of your experiences. That's the difference. And they can be used to persuade people too. Not that it always works, but it can be used in that way too. Now, here's the part that interests us, all of us in this class. Argumentative 5-paragraph essays. See page 271 for a detailed description of what that is. But we have been talking about this a lot. I have told you each paragraph has to be 10 to 12 sentences long. I want you to have a topic sentence, not a title, not a title. Each paragraph doesn't have a title. Your essay has one title. Each paragraph has a topic sentence, which is the sentence that's going to contain the whole objective of that paragraph. We've been talking about that a lot. And in your essays, you're going to express your opinion about a certain topic. We've been talking about that a lot, and that's what you're going to do for your exam. Now, there's a different type of text. We talked about persuasion, right? Texts that are written to persuade other people to do something or to buy something or to change their opinion about something. But there are texts that are just to inform people, to give information about a topic. A news article is an example of that. A manual, when you buy a TV, it comes with a little booklet that has explanations on how to use it. That's another type of information type of text. It's a text written to inform somebody. A report. You go on a trip, which Vivian Stu has done a lot of field trips this year. Vivian Ho has done their share of different experiences on the field. So a report would be writing about that experience. Just giving a cold hard facts, explaining what you did and telling somebody who wasn't there what you did. That's a report. An expository 5-paragraph essay, which is also something that you can use. You may or may not need to use, but I'm thinking that you will. You will. Because if you are really focused on getting a very good grade on this exam, you will write between 3 and 5 paragraphs. And usually if you go with 5, you have more opportunities to put into written word what you're thinking and feeling. So we talked about persuading people through writing, informing people, and here we have letter C, text typically written to entertain an audience. So here we're talking about a short story, a novel, a script for a film, that type of writing that is just there for people to be entertained by it. It's not to inform, doesn't necessarily have to be true, but it is something that is done for you to, you read a novel. Why do you read a novel? You pick up a novel. This is a novel written by a friend of mine, by the way. I've been trying to get him to do a live interview with you guys this year. Maybe before the year is over, I'll get him to do it. So he wrote a novel called Secrets in the Garden, and it was so good and such a success that he wrote a sequel. It's fiction. It's not based on a true story or anything, but it's written just for you to read and have a good time and read and entertain yourself. Next on our list, I want you to go to this page here. And the rest of your day, I want you to focus on reading this, and I want you to write a summary of this text. Who are you writing for? What's a target audience? So you don't need to do a great deal of writing for this. How about one paragraph? You read this text and you write one paragraph and you send it to me. If for some reason you were pushing for time and you were not able to write it down, you can use your phone and make an audio message for me summarizing this page. Who are you writing for? Today was a long day for all of you, so I'm going to dismiss you now from the video conference, and I want you to take all of this in because it's going to be very important for your exam that's coming. Read all of the pages from today, read them carefully, take in the information, and do the assignment. The assignment is reading this page for the second part of the day, reading this page and writing a summary. If for some reason you're not able to write it, you can create an audio file of it and send it to me directly on Messenger. Have a great rest of your day. If you need anything, message me or call me on Messenger. If you don't understand some of this, if you're having trouble with anything, go ahead and message and I'll give you the feedback that you need. You are, I don't want to say too much because the exam is coming and I'm not supposed to give you too much, but I want you to focus on being able to read a text, answer questions about the text. You should be able to also write proper paragraphs. Remember how long each paragraph has to be. Remember that one essay only has one title at the very top. You're not supposed to write titles for each paragraph. Remember to add a topic sentence to each paragraph that you write. And above everything, use academic language. Do not use things like, oh, I think that text was really chill. Chill is not a proper word for an academic text. Yes, I'm impressed and it's so cool that you know that word. You can use it when you talk to people, but do not write this on your essay. Things like, I ain't got time for that, that is not appropriate for writing, especially not for writing an academic paper. And some of you ask me, oh, but we're not doing anything academic, we're just in high school. Hey, don't you think that's academic? The difference between academic and colloquial writing. Academic writing is anything that's for school, university, college, a course that you're taking somewhere. All of that is academics, right? So do not think that it's not important now. It is important. When I talk about academic writing, I'm not just talking about university. I'm talking about now. This is your moment. So just to make sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to do, read all of those pages and write a summary about this page that's right there, right now. Target audience, who are you writing for? Write a short summary. One paragraph is enough for this. Send me the paragraph or do an audio file. Prepare for this exam that's coming. It's your last opportunity to impress me. Not impress me like, wow, I'm so impressed, but impress me in, as in get a very good grade so your average will go up. You will have a listening part to your exam as well. And if you want to practice for that, there are lots and lots and lots of material that you can use online. It's called a TOEIC, Test of English for International Communication. The listening part, it's going to be like one of those. Not the whole thing, but the first part where you have the picture, you have to look at the picture and choose the right alternative. Then the short conversations, you'll have that on your exam as well. And it's going to count a lot for your final grade. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, I'm available online the whole day. Just hit me up if you need something.